And hello and welcome back. Let's get back into the trial. Order, please. Order. Let us resume proceedings. Press button. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. Okay, so we got an excuse to talk to them again. Hello, witness that still shouldn't be there. Because you have more important things to do. I presume you heard the defense counsel summation examination. Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did. Mr. and Mr. Sulking. Back up, blimey. This is gonna be hard work. Yeah. Earlier in the trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks. Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it? Was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time for me dukes out me lady Lucy Lockets. However, that was a lie. You brothers. Oh, blimey. No, wrong way. On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never did nothing of the sort. How do you figure that out? Okay. Yeah, they're contradicting each other. You will now give formal testimonies once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened in the night in question. And this time you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought's worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more coffee, yeah, we'll blab, was weak, we'll peach. Okay, what's different now? The whole truth and nothing but the truth? Oh, I swear to goodness, if they do another one and it's literally and nothing but the truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshot scene. Made us both jump. And all that stuff went flying. But you fucking said you weren't... You said you heard it before you entered. Oh, lummy. It didn't have to give me a fright. I was thinking the shooter come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it in Scotland. Right into them in the back. But that doesn't make any sense. What? Why would you put everything back if you thought that the killer was about to come out and shoot you too? Why would you bother? 2, you already said that you heard the gunshot before you went in. Oh, we couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? Never even had a chance, did we? I didn't even bring that up. So you admit the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windibank's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidy up. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, they sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. And they make it sound a bit more cutthroat. Fine, you shot the guy. You want to go with that? That'll make my life easier. It can't just be coincidence that the men showed up at the Windibanks last night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I am sure of it. As it slowly pans to the guy who's very suspiciously there. Okay. Anything particularly like... Oh, okay, yeah. This was one of the first one that was, like, particularly suspicious in terms of them, like, contradicting what they previously said. So what you're saying is, The sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked over all the things that were on the counter. Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. The bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright? Lammy, me dead granny would have woken up at that bang. Big brother here screamed like a blooming baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over loads of books, candlestick, and some skull or whatnot. I mean, this sounds like the truth. Like, there's a lot of like little details here that sounds like the truth. It doesn't sound like they're lying, I guess is the specific way I'd phrase it. We got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked over the scales in the floor? You've really mastered working quietly, then. What a racket. My granny would have been scattered back into a grave at a collided like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam. Ooh. 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 Excuse me. Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. But, no, something to add about their testimony. You seem to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it only. Well, the fact is, case don't get out if you know the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind, then? As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. And the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. I did it. The name you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov. Might have. It does ring a bell now that you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. We can't help but feeling like it perhaps been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, hey, fellas? Well, I discovered the witness's testimony have been any more sloppy than it has hit Harrow proven to be. I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Oh, easy. We'll get it right this time. Oh, that's it. Yep, it's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have been miraculously returned to your questionable minds. Sirs. There you are, Gov. Give me that gun. Okay. Press it more. Was there... So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of waver in voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot... give me that gun, Bram. That kind of thing. A career in acting, tragically missed. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Oh, this will be good. From the other side of that door behind the counter, it was. From the storeroom where the victim was found. Dead. Okay. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. On me granny's life, of course it was. On his granny life, of course it was. Yeah, I thought you had the same granny. So, that would mean... they both knew Mr. Winterbank and the sound of his voice. So that would mean what?
What? Nash, wait, any ideas?
Oh, they're admitting something.
Yes, Counsel, indeed it would.
No, we didn't know that, geezer.
I was supposed to deny it when all that bloke with all the fancy club was giving us the evil eye.
you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true.
They do feel like they're, like, even he is, like, just like, fuck it, just tell the damn truth. Which is interesting. Because he made the show of, like, associating. Maybe just... Here's the thing, like, why is fucking Gregson here? That's the thing that really... And it seems connected to these two in some way, right? It has to be. Are they, like, whistleblowers? For, like, something else going on? And they're, like, under protection? Because it doesn't seem like they're, like, he went out of his way to try to connect the bullet fire to whatever the fuck happened with the calendar, right? We established that. Gregson here and Van Zee seem like they're purposely trying to achieve something via him being here, which is connected to them somehow. Him trying to connect that made it seem like, oh, maybe they're trying to get a specific result because it will help with this bigger, more politically important case to go the way they want it to. Maybe. But he seems pretty okay with me, like, forcing them to actually tell the truth, and it's really that they're just incompetent that it's going down this way. I will note that. Oh, on his granny knife, it must be. I guess his insistence on actually, like, doing this properly makes me feel as though the ramifications of this case specifically are not the thing that'll impact whatever he thinks is being impacted, that they're impacting outside of the case. Which is, it has to be the reason Gregson's here, right? Right? Like, he seems like he doesn't even fucking care. Like, he was like, well, you guys got the fucking testimony wrong here. Like, he doesn't fucking care. He had to be pressured into actually, like, saying and saying, okay, probably should do it right. It's a good job his granny's dead. Or wait. Wait. It's a good job his granny... I think they meant it's a good thing his granny's dead. To summarize, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. You make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tidied up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it. Oh, okay. Oh, he was shot in the back.
Objection!
Yes, it does reveal a damning inconsistency. Damning, you say? Yeah, if you like... As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand in your ballad expression, your perspiring brow. I mean, I think that's just a standard state of me. Huh? Seems to me that is the damning inconsistency here. The misplaced confidence of yours, sir. Mine. Damning tongue. Damn you. You invite it, sir. Wow, well, thank you so very much. Good guy. I was holding the gun, so oh, wait, that's new. Wait, that's a new line? She just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Wait, he's the dead one.
Objection!
That's more of an inconsistency. Sorry, I mean, I guess I needed them to, like, actually change their testimony statement for the other one to be a contradiction, technically, but it was also, like, they played out the scene, didn't they? And it's like, oh, grab it, shot, and it's like, how would that have played out in the way that they described it with him getting shot in the back? I feel like that's a fair thing to point out, right? This does seem like a bigger one, though. So you're saying on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winterbank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it? That's it? You got the picture. Yes, now, yeah, no question. And you had the And yet the photographic evidence from the time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not in possession of a firearm of any description.
You surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence that compromises the position of the accused even more?
If I believe she is not guilty, pursuing the truth is what I need to do to demonstrate that, right? That's all I need to do if I truly believe it. So what they're saying is a contradiction, so...
Furthermore, the defense has failed to establish that the photographic print presented was taken a suitably short time prior to the victim's death. Chronology is severely lacking, counsel.
But isn't that the point? Yeah, well, that's right.
You're right, Nash. You're right. The old geezer could have been about to turn the tables on the girl, eh?
But he still fucking died.
Hardly likely. No, I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence of what?
Wait, am I... The thing went away. I can't be...
Continue with the cross-examination, counsel. I need my earlier warning witnesses.
Is this game just telling me, like, okay, we just use different evidence? Is that the idea? You're saying that Mr. Windibank had a gun in his hands.
Oh yeah, I bet that was sight, and two of them waving their guns at each other. It must have got pretty heated.
I mean, just before I shouted, we had the keys to... I'm getting them mixed up already. We had the keys to say, if you don't want to get shot... I moved it up. I haven't noticed that till now.
It didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Windibank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping. He'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That's someone being himself, of course. Good grief. Extraordinary devotion, if alarmingly misguided.
Oh, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person was gonna beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper.
I wish you squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting. Give me that gun.
It was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Give me that gun. Bam. Yeah, kind of thing. Yes. For an actor a career in acting very, very tragically missed. Then we have the sound of someone hitting the deck.
Well, everything went dead quiet. After that, we done slapdash tidying the place up.
I feel like I've heard this before. So I guess I just present fucking things until I win?
Objection!
I pick the right one? Let's just consider them again. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna keep picking shit.
Objection!
Okay, is this different? So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? Well, that's it, Gov. You got the picture.
Yes, no question.
And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not holding a firearm of any description.
You what?
Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Who's Gordon Bennett?
I've never heard that name before.
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in that incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Windibank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was identified as the murder weapon, it was found in the accused's hands.
Did we connect the bullet to... Have we had, like, that sort of testing yet? Yeah, that Multiller used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. They really want to make use of that animation.
Hold it!
Yeah, that kind of thing. stay exactly where you are, right there. Huh? If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out.
Goodness, are you sure, counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim.
Where's the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? Well, okay, so I guess shows a single bullet wound in the man's back, so okay, there's that. Autopsy, also back. I mean, they both indicate it. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, get your tiger by doing eeny, meeny, miny, aye. No, this one. One of them's gotta work.
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe.
Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, if I could ask the court to study a photograph of the victim's body again, you can clearly see that Mr. Winnebank was in fact shot from behind. Da-da. Da-da, da-da. Da-da. Da-da, da-da. So as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency. Epic moment ruined. Echo does it again. There's an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Sulking. Oh my god, Gregson's just like, yep, he's right. But it's the God's honest truth.
It is now, it is. When we shot that night,
the shopkeeper had his gun, and we saw it with our own blazing eyes. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Winnebank holding the gun. Something that, like that, might have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. We can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Sulking brothers must have encountered the victim in person.
no.
Yeah.
Order! 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 Witnesses, explain yourselves at once.
Well, the thing is, I was supposed to,
It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies?
Society have the truth is to see,
Cut it out, Natch, cut it out. We blabbed now, you know what they'll tell us to do.
He? Who are they talking about?
Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you.
Rob, come on, the game's up.
But have our gods forgot us?
In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out.
The night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim.
In some form or another.
I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place.
Well...
Do we have to? On pain of death.
I don't know if they have any equivalents of the, right to not self-incriminate in England, especially at this time.
I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth.
Oh, come on. The whole truth. And only the truth. You? Ah, you missed an opportunity. Localizers. It would have been so good.
Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and leaves a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug.
Wait, what actually did... So we got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. What? I am confused. I am legitimately confused. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it. Huh, and he flew at you.
You know, geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter.
I pulled my gun on him, and then he legged it through that door to the back room.
We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear.
Okay, but there's like a So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Well, yeah, so sorry.
Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. The changes matter considerably.
But honest, Governor, this time.
This time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
I feel like they're leaving out important details still. Considering they also said, didn't make any mention of what they actually heard in terms of... Because they said before that the... because they said before they heard the gunshot at the same time as the yell, "Give me that gun," and now they're saying that's part of their scuffle. But they said it like so many fucking times that the idea that they're unassociated a gunshot and that not happening, it's really weird if they like said that before. Unless they were like just like really confident, like, yeah, we got on the same page with this one lie, yeah, and they're really, really proud of it. I could actually see that.
Very well, Counsel for the Defense, you may proceed with cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for.
The truth.
Okay. Okay, there's a lot to unpackage here. I guess let's start with the you pulled your gun on him.
Hold it!
Did you shoot? Were you intending to shoot Mr. Winnebank?
No, never. Oh, I was just, you know, looking out for me, bruv, weren't I?
He was being flattened, don't forget. By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes.
And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. He got me away and ran off through that door and shut himself in.
There's something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true.
I wonder why Mr. Winnebank ran away into the storeroom.
What?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Guinea was in there waiting for him with a gun.
Ah, yes, that's right. Also remember he had a gun, which means there's a third gun? Which, you know, adds up, I think. Yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Winnebank's guns to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Winnebank's hands again, and then back in her hands to shoot him?
I have no idea. But that is strange, isn't it?
This little inconsistency could be significant. Should make a mental note of it.
Look, the point is, me and my bruv here.
That's right.
No, that's right, me and my brother here.
Okay, was there one... You pulled a gun, chucked you over the counter. Oh, then he flew at us like he's possessed, thought we had it. Nothing about him having his gun again.
Hold it!
Well, this might be good in terms of, establishing the timing of hearing a gunshot and then give me the gun statement. You mentioned that Mr. Winnebank shot his words in your previous testimony, too. However, you claim that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. No, the more important part is the gunshot at the same time part, I think. Just establishing how much of that was true. Did we? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Yeah. Was the victim Mr. Winterbank wielding gun at the time? Yes.
Was he ever? Blimey, lummy, the great ugly barrel and pointing straight at me front to piece.
Man, they are really going heavy on the accent thing, and I know I'm not getting it right at all. So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterbank with the gun at that time, is that right?
It is, Gov. It is. Spot on.
And all of a sudden, you came at us, he did?
It was Bedlam. Didn't know who was going for who.
You were all clearly going for each other.
There were three of you.
Like not shite. We thought we had it. I mean,
Had it? You say you had nothing to do with it?
Nothing at all.
nothing, Gov. Nothing. The old geezer went and shot himself in the back room, did he?
Locked it was from the inside.
I guess, yeah, it must have been used like a panic room. I'm not sure how else that, would make any sense.
We know it was, because we tried to open it.
Why? Why would you try to open it when he had a gun and he was fighting you? I thought you were like... But it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong. Wouldn't budge an inch.
So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom of the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrain. It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel?
I don't know. Is there anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Winterbank? I mean... I'll save, but, there could have been... Mr. and Mr. Sulking.
What?
What's that look for?
From the moment you admitted that you encountered the victim face-to-face that night. The course of this trial changed completely.
It did?
What is your point, my learned friend?
The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Winterbank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all.
You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside.
Oh wow, they laid him out in a way that shows the shot in the back a bit more harder to believe being from someone else in the storeroom now that I look at it.
So pray, something, counsel. You must now provide answers to the court in respect of the two conundrums.
Two, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe.
Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Understood, my lord. Are you alright, Runa? Not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely.
So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship.
So... Gina was inside, which means she could have closed it and locked it. The fact that he had a gun, so... I mean, he was shot in the back. He could have just been shot when he was running inside, right? It closed, she locked the door, she took the gun for safety. Something like that. Maybe she shot it at them. Maybe she shot it and hit the thingamabomb. Remember, there's a little slidey... I think there was a little slidey thing in the door. Because I think I remember seeing that when we found the victim. When we found the scene, right? Save, though. Save the hell out of this, because there's going to be some wiggle room in interpretations for potential ways this plays out. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where the person could have fired the gun.
Take that!
Defense believes the culprit could have shot the victim from this location. Yeah, that is so generic. Yeah, I fucked up.
And in answer to the second question...
Oh, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time? Like, at the door.
Take that!
The defense believes that the victim would have been in the position here.
What your answer, in fact, show...
is that your own position is absurd as those you have indicated to the... Why? Why? All you have to do is say, oh, he shot him as he was going into the room. That's all you have to say. Right? What are you saying? Load.
Take that!
Okay, let's just be a little bit more clear-cut in the concept. Good? Good? A culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. I still think a chase makes more sense, because if I remember correctly, that little thingamabob... Like, I don't think it was that... I think it was, like, pretty high for that angle of shot, like, element to the autopsy.
Continue.
Ooh. Mr. Winnipeg died instantly from a bullet wound to his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that it was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
So you are adamant the shot was fired from outside the storeroom.
Well, according to the Sulking brothers' earlier testimony... pulled a gun on him and then he legged it through that door into the back room.
If Mr. Winnipeg ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. It was at precisely that moment, when the victim was fleeing for his life, that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom.
No! Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd said before, but okay, fine. Like, legitimately, I put him on the fucking door to indicate he was going through the door. Whatever. Whatever. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial?
Moving on to findings, Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory.
Hey, look how short these two are.
It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself.
Poor man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, too. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it still would have entered his body at an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winnipeg.
Objection!
I am sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. You also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock.
But, I mean, Gina, what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there was someone else who could have locked the storeroom door.
Is that so? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court.
In the scenario just described, the defense assertion is that the victim was shot from the outside the storeroom.
In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside?
Ba 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 ba.
Take that!
I gotta be honest, that actually lined up perfectly. It won't in the recording, like the actual like episode, because like I'll have to. Maybe I'll remember to actually go line that up with that ba 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 ba. But because I have like a little bit of delay on the music, but it lined up perfectly on my end. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That is absurd. I'm suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room. For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel?
Because she was being chased by people who just shot someone. Same reason she took the gun. Ah, yes. It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Half-baked notions have no place in this courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But your assertions are half-baked now, too. But of course Skinny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it?
It does?
Well, if I was Skinny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they?
Yeah, I mean, oh yes, obviously.
I feel like, yeah.
Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winnebank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that time, but at some point, Mr. Winnebank must have heard the intruders breaking into a shop and left the storeroom.
Intruders, eh?
Well, that's us, bruv. Your theory is correct. Then that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Winnebank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. What we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment?
Well, I see what you've got with us. I say we're going with this.
Oh yeah, let's see what he was actually saying now. Outside the store was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winnebank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it.
We ain't, Gov, we ain't. You gotta believe us. I mean, come on. We never shoot no one. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There is only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Winnebank's murder. Okay, yeah, that wasn't very climactic, but at the same time, we're going to bring up the bullets, right? The fact that only one bullet was shot, and that is a significant element here, right? Niagara. No, I'm just waiting for Van Zeeks to come up with the fact about the bullet thing. I should have known it was those three brothers. They look as shady as the dense force. He has all three of them.
Well, that was amazing, Runo. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now.
I know, first time ever. And probably the last.
Well, I think you've done it. Surely you have to give a verdict of not...
There he goes. An admirable effort, my learned friends. What's this now? He's laughing. You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeeks? I myself find that defense's argument most persuasive. I dare say, such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypothesis you put forward is so ostensibly incredibly cannot and will not stand. Because you see, it contains a fatal flaw.
Yeah, the bullets. But what about the bullet in her lot? What about the bullet in her lock? A fatal flaw?
Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your own logic's failings? I say, Lord Ramses, might be an idea to explain this brawly conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground. The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets.
Yep, there it is.
By George, count bullets!
Oh dear. He noticed then? Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping he wouldn't. Huh? What's everyone talking about? Oh no. Come on, me and SK try to stay on top of it.
Counsel. Yes, sir. Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime.
2. 2. Yeah, 2 bullets.
Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And then the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, at his arrival on the scene.
Wait, but what about the one in the fucking clock? Are we saying that's the same one? Am I really just remembering this that incorrectly as to what happened with Herlock? I might be just remembering that incorrectly. Okay, welcome back. I have some real life things to take care of. I also use that as an excuse to go and walk over to my files in my computer and look at the previous recordings about the surgery for Sherlock. Everything I found, which I honestly didn't spend that long looking, was very vague about what the surgery was about. But the other thing is also, like, that was up, like, he got shot in the abdomen. The guy who had the gun was the taller one, so it's not like the shorter one would have shot upwards through the abdomen into the clock thing, right? It had to have been a different fucking... Oh my... If they stick with that being the same bullet and that's not something significant, then... The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by a second bullet earlier in the proceedings. Yeah, way up there. Bullet which entered Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Where have we established that?
Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Winterbank, and the Sulking brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed, it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes.
Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, I think you're fine.
That if the single bullet was fired from the brother's gun hit Mr. Sholmes, it means...
Winterbank now shot by same gun. Stop, only 1 bullet, stop!
Exactly.
Technically, she could have... No.
Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick, with no hope of standing up to scrutiny.
I believe that was an accurate sound effect thing. Okay. Oh no, no, no. Someone else just died.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hollow nectar into the public gallery. I will pay for the damages via the funding of the public prosecutor's office. Lord Van Zees? This court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Keena Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She is a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is that the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with a loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present.
Oh, really? That disc, it has blood on it too. We could test it. Yeah, okay.
No, don't give it him. It's mine. That is.
I'm sorry, miss. I didn't belong to Mr. Guild. It has to be taken in as evidence now.
Yes, that music box disc. McGilded's music box disc. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Winterbank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence.
Brute gracious. Okay, these are accusations now. Like, a lot of that wasn't true.
Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed. No crime she would not commit. The court forgets the fact. The court forgets that fact at its peril.
I see.
I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel. As a grim testament to the defendant's character.
Lord Van Zees, I am,
Inspector Gregson, what? Yes, Inspector.
We had a meeting yesterday at the Art of the Prosecution Service, and, I think it was agreed that the disc wouldn't be used as evidence.
What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Ziggs at all. I am unaware of any such meeting.
But those were the instructions, right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent.
Oh, interesting. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord.
Indeed. Bailiff.
Okay. Let me see if I can just go. The prosecution establishes the accused's motive, opportunity, and basis of character. Yeah, basically saying criminal equals bad person, incapable of subtlety. Oh, Bruno, look! This is blood! Yes, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before. Ha, then it's my time to shine again. Ha, I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno. Let me get this done quickly, Iris. In a flash.
Yeah, no, I think I've been curious about this for a while, so.
Green. Holy shit, what? Isn't that the same as it was on the calendar? The same unknown one? A lovely bright shade again. Did we come to a conclusion about that one? Wait, that color. What is it? It's just that green, it's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Got it. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case.